a great friend and mentor, this amazing lady, Lynn Lionhood. So let me read a little bit about her, and what she's going to talk about today, because she's very impactful. She's such a humble person, but she's so impactful in her connection. And she's going to talk today. Her talk title is How Can a Don't Screw With Me card help my business? Everybody needs one of those, at least. I've got many. But a little bit about Lynn Lionhood is she's an executive director at LegalShield, IDShield for 25 years. That is a lot of experience there. She's highly experienced professional specializing in assisting individuals, small business owners, and employees with a wide range of issues. With over 35 years of expertise as a benefits consultant, and that's somebody you're going to want to get to know, Lynn excels at providing effective solutions and helping people navigate challenging situations, enabling them to enjoy life and business. We all need a little bit of that. And Lynn's passion for teaching the value of building relationships for business growth has led her to establish successful networking groups for 36 years. She is a powerful connector and networker and a great referral partner. She is dedicated to empowering others and making a positive impact in the community through her work of fostering genuine and lasting relationships beyond just exchanging business cards. And she is now broadcasting live weekly on K-Fred Radio and Lunch with Lynn, but I'm going to let her take it away. She's an awesome person, and I would not have met Colleen without her. So glad to introduce you. Take it away.
All right, guys, that's all boring stuff. That's just a bunch of words on paper that means nothing to any of you. It really doesn't. So first of all, I want to find out, where's everybody at? Let's see. There are 18 people here. There should be at least 118 people here. So I don't know where those other people are, but their loss, your gain. So let's talk about that for a second. If they're not here and you are, their competition is very happy that they're not here today because they're not going to hear all this good stuff, but you guys will. So you'll leave here with all kinds of, forget all the little freebies everybody's giving you. Look at the knowledge you're sucking into your head. That's what's really important. So I saw a bunch of people who's just, their names are on the screen and that's all, no faces. That's crappy. You either are sitting in your underwear or you have a bad haircut. So why are you not on screen? You need to be on screen where everybody can see you. It's so difficult to talk to names. That's crummy. So, okay, enough said about that. So let's talk about some important stuff. I'm not going to talk about LegalShield. First, I'm going to talk about LegalShield last, because truly, I love LegalShield very much, but my passion is in helping you people. That is really what I love to do the most. So I want to ask you guys something. You can see the picture behind me, and I picked that picture specifically because you guys, most of you are solopreneurs, you're small businesses, so you're the dog, but you want to run and play with all the big guys. But as you see by the picture, who's leading the pack? It's not the big guys, it's the little guy. And that's what you can be. So I want you guys to remember that. Just because you're a little guy, you don't have to follow behind by their butts. Get out in the front, let them follow you. That's where you want to be. So let's talk about networking for a minute, because that really is, you know, like I didn't think I had a talent to do anything, but somehow this is just working really well. And I've done it for lots and lots of years, guys. And I truly am probably more critical than anybody about what I'm doing to make sure that it gets better and better. And Nicole, you're going to have to watch the chat because I don't watch the chat. I get too distracted if I do that. So you're in charge of that.
I
So
got you covered.
Here's the deal, guys. You want to think about, look, I've gone to lots of networking events and I've gone to a lot of them. And I'm telling you, I just want to pull my eyeballs out. It's so boring. It just is. It's everybody stands up. Everybody does their 30 seconds. Everybody sits down. You just want to die. You say, when is this going to be over? I don't want my events to ever be like that. I want them to be fun. I want it to be an experience. That's what you really need to remember. Make it an experience. So here's what I want you all to do. Some of you are taking notes. If you are, get out your red pen. Remember, the red pen means you're smart. That's my grandson says. So I always carry that red pen. So get out your red pen and I'm going to give you an idea. And I want you to think about this for a minute. All of you maybe have dinner tonight, or maybe you have a family dinner on the weekend. I always have a big family dinner every Sunday. And it's me, I do all the cooking, but I always make it an experience. I have 4 children, 15 grandchildren. They're all invited. Anybody who wants to come can come. They can bring friends. So here's the deal, guys. You can go have your little pork and beans and weenies, and that'll be just fine. You'll fill your belly, and that's all you will do. Or you can have an experience. So I'm going to tell you an experience that's easy that all of you should be able to do. And I promise you, if you do it once, your family will go, hey, I want to be here every week. That's what you want. At least I do. So you want to get yourself some red Solo cups. Get some lots, 2 red Solo cups per person. And you want to get yourself, for novices, get big giant marshmallows. For experts, get the little mini marshmallows. You want to get everything off the table and throw the marshmallows all over the table. Everybody puts a Solo cup on their hands. Now you want to set a timer to see who can pick up the marshmallows, the most marshmallows, the fastest. People will laugh. They will have an absolutely fun, wonderful time. And every time they come to dinner, find something really simple and easy and fun they can do. And I promise they'll come back over and over and over again. And long after I'm dead and gone, they'll be laughing about all the fun that we always had together. So they'll always remember those better than just if they sat down and had the beans and weenies. And that's the way your networking should be, guys. If you're going somewhere and you're falling asleep and you're getting nothing out of it, stop going. It's a waste of your time. Go back and see LaShalle. You know, I listened to LaShalle. I listened to all the speakers yesterday. These people were great. They're all professionals. They have these really beautiful presentations. I don't have any of that. I don't. I'm just me. That's all there is to it. But I can wing it pretty good. And that's, I didn't even plan anything to say today. I'm just going to wing the whole thing because I think I can. So here's the deal, guys. At my events, when they were in person, they were 3 hours long. Everybody said, no, you'll never get anybody to come for 3 hours. I said, really? Count the people in the room when we start, count the people at the end of 3 hours, and tell me if there aren't more people there at the end than there was in the beginning. Now, I know Laura Galarski's on here, and she attended many of those, so she can attest to that's the way it was. And towards the end, I started putting dice on everybody's table. I wanted these people to be so exhausted when they left my luncheon that they weren't able to do another thing all day long. So at the end of every meeting, we shot dice for free prizes. I mean, good prizes, lots of prizes. Can't do that in person now. So we have to do different things. That's why we're doing a contest now. So here, guys, I want you to think about something. Lots of people take notes all day long in these summits. What are you doing with the notes? So I want you to think about this. How many people on here, and I can't see them, so Nicole, you're going to have to tell me, how many people in here like Kentucky Fried Chicken? Probably a lot of you.
You got
I
2.
like only 2 people? Where do these people eat? It's great. So here's the deal. Suppose I took you to lunch today and we went through the drive-through window for the Kentucky Fried Chicken today. And while we're in that drive-through, the guy gives us our bag with our order. And we pull out. And we're going to look in the bag. Now, if I look in the bag and the chicken's there, we're all happy. But he mistakenly threw the secret recipe for how to make Kentucky Fried Chicken in that bag. Now, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Some people will say, oh, I'm going to take that recipe and I'm going to take it home and I'm going to put it on the shelf and I'm going to make that chicken. And it'll stay on the shelf. Me, if I go through there and that happens, I'm taking the day off after lunch and I'm going to the grocery store and I'm filling my cart with 4 times the amount of ingredients that recipe called for. And I'm going home and I'm making chicken over and over and over again till it tastes like Kentucky Fried Chicken. So for today, what do we have? We have 17 people on this call. Did we have 18? Somehow somebody died. We lost one. But we have 17 people on this call. So if you're the person who is going to take that recipe home and put it on the shelf, I give you permission to get off camera and go to sleep. Sleep for an hour. I don't even know how long I'm supposed to talk, but Nicole will flag me when I'm done. So go to sleep and don't worry about it. But if you're somebody who's going to take that recipe home and you're going to make it, then I want you to pay attention. Because guys, it all boils down to you take notes after every single one of these speakers. These people are experts at what they do, and they're here to share that information. If you're just going to take notes, you're not going to do anything with them. Well, then Colleen should have just said, oh, here's my experts, and they'll just send you a book of notes. You're going to do nothing with it. But if you really want to change what you're doing in your business, you take those notes and you say to yourself, this summit's 3 days long. And on the fourth day, I will not rest. I will pull out those notes and I will implement what's in those notes. Call every one of those speakers back and say, I loved what you said. I need a little more clarification because I want to see how this might work for my business. Why would you not do that? If you don't do that, you just wasted 3 days. You might as well just get off here and go back to bed. And you know what? A year from now, your business will be exactly where it is right now. If you're happy with that, that's okay. Some people like being I don't want to say a loser, but just mediocre. Who wants a mundane brown car? You go in to buy a new car. They got a brown car. They got a red convertible. Are a whole lot of people going to go buy the brown car? No, they're going to go get the red convertible. They want to have fun. So if you want your business to grow, understand why Colleen did this. This took a lot of time for her and Nicole to put together. She had to go find these experts. A lot of you haven't found those people. She's got them for you. So that's what networking is all about, sorting. Sort through them. There's a lot of duds that go to networking. There just is. I always say there's always at least one real loony that goes to the networking. And somehow I felt like I had Velcro on my butt because every time I went to the networking events in person, the loony always kind of attached themselves to me. I can't figure out what it is about me that the loony likes me, but I couldn't get the loony off my butt. And when you've got the loony you're dragging around behind you, a lot of people won't talk to you. So you guys, you have the advantage of not having, if you got Velcro on your butt, you're just sticking to the seat today. That's all. The loony's not going to be able to stick to you. So sort. You need to be a professional sorter, not a card collector, because we've seen those people. They run around with 100 cards and their whole deal is, let me hurry up and give away my 100 cards. You know where those 100 cards are going? Drive around that neighborhood after you leave. They're going out the window. These people are throwing them out. They don't want them. And I can prove to you that a lot of people just collect cards and that's it. I went to an event once and this guy was just so annoying and I didn't want his card, but he wanted my card bad. So I gave him somebody else's card, a man's card with the man's picture on it. And he put it in his pocket, didn't even look at it. And I thought, good, I'll never hear from him. The other guy will, but I won't. So guys, just be a sorter. If there's 17 people on here, you might only really need 13 people. Maybe there's 4 you won't need. So real quick, I'm going to give you my filing system because I've taught it to all my networking people. And it's a great little system because if you go to lots of networking events, you're going to be bombarded with all these people and it just becomes overwhelming. You go, I can't keep them all straight. So here's what I tell you to do. Go out and buy 3 boxes of file folders. Not the hanging file folders, the old time, like the manila folders. But you don't want to get manila. That's vanilla. That's just boring. You want to get red file folders, green file folders, yellow file folders. Every time you go to an event, and in here, when I go to events like this, I always send my check to people and it's got everybody's contact information. Print that thing off and chop it up in pieces. Everybody gets a little hunk of paper with their contact information on it. Everybody's information goes in a yellow file. So I have one for Don, I have one for Nicole, Colleen, Lachelle, Kendichi, Mari. Everybody's got their own little yellow file. Yellow means I'm working on those people. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a visual person. So I'll get off here and I won't remember people's names, won't match with their faces because I don't have any brain cells left to put extra stuff in. So go to their Facebook page or their LinkedIn page or go to both and print page 1 only of each. Just page 1. because usually it has a picture, as long as they're not dumb and have that stupid alfalfa picture that has like, who, what, if they have the alfalfa picture, throw it in the garbage. Just don't even call them. I mean, you didn't even take the time to put your picture up there. That's bad. So you want their picture. And that first page will usually give you some information on what they do, where they work, where they go to school. You know, a little bit of stuff. And that's what you need. Stick it in the yellow folder. Now you're going to call them up. I'm going to call Donna. Donna and I are going to have a little talk. And Donna's going to go, no, I can't work with Lynn. Too loud, too abrasive, not my style. I need order. She's not like that. And I can tell it's going shitty. It just is. And we're probably never going to do anything together because we're just not melding well. Take Donna out of the yellow file, put her in the red file. Red means dead. You go in the red file, never waste any more time on that person because it's not ever going to go anywhere. I'm never going to stop being loud and abrasive. Donna's never going to like me. That's just not her type of person. So it's going nowhere. Donna's a great person, but she needs somebody quiet and orderly. That's not me. Red is dead. When I'm on a call with people like this and they know my system, if they're acting up and I think it's not going well, I will take the yellow or the red file folder and I will go like this. And they'll see that red file folder come right past them and I'll start writing and they'll go, are you putting me in the red file? I said, yes, I am. Wait a minute. I think I'm going to change. And sometimes they change. But if they don't, that's okay. Purge them at the end of the year. Don't even call them back. Just throw all the red file folders, empty them all out, reuse them. Now, if I'm talking to Donna and I don't know, even if we're not going to do business, everything is going phenomenal. We have a lot to talk about. I know people that I can introduce to Donna. She knows people she can introduce to me. It's just melding really perfectly. Donna goes in the green file. Green means money. That's good. Things are going well. Spend time with Donna. Now, the people in the green files are very important to you. If she's not a business client of mine today, she could be somewhere down the line, or she could know people that will become my clients. So I want to treat Donna like she's my good jewelry, not my costume jewelry, my good jewelry. I want to polish her up. I want to do things to help her. I want to do everything in my power to keep Donna happy because I want to keep her in the green files. So you guys have to have some sort of a filing system, and that will work really well, guys. That works good for clients too. I had clients that went in the red files. I couldn't wait for them to just dump me. You're really too much work, way too much work. But that's a good little filing system for you guys to use. So you guys have to ask yourself, do you want to be a buffalo or you want to be a cow? That's really what the choice is. So you're going to say, okay, how do I know which one I am? When a big storm comes, a huge lightning storm comes, buffalo all come together in a herd in one spot, and they travel through that storm together and protect each other. Cows and all the other animals run the other way. So you have to ask yourself, do you want to be a buffalo? You want to be a cow? I don't really have any desire to have spent this much of my life doing what I'm doing to turn and run away because things got tough. If things get tough, have a herd, guys. Come into our herd. Come into Colleen's herd. Come into Mike's herd. Get a tribe of people and travel with them through the difficult times. You know, we're all out here working by ourselves, most of us. We don't have big companies behind us. You need to have that solidarity with those other people to lean on for resources, referrals, for everything. So find your herd, guys. Stop being a cow. Be a buffalo. So let's talk for just a couple more seconds about LegalShield, because I think I'm supposed to talk about that too. I do like that, but I love the networking. And you're all invited to come to lunch with Lynn on K-Fred Radio. Good stuff. And we have a contest going, a really fun contest, guys. What?
We went ahead and dropped your link for lunch with Lynn, so
everybody
everybody
good.
can register to go. And
Good.
yes, you're supposed to talk about LegalShield.
Okay, thank you.
All about it.
Good deal. Okay, so here's the deal. Why do I need this? There's only two questions you ever need to answer about LegalShield. Can I afford it? Do I need it? Maybe you love it and you say, I can't afford it. I can't imagine that because most people spend more on toilet paper than they do for their monthly fee for their business. We have a business plan for business people. If you have a standalone business outside your house, we have a plan. If you are a business from your home, we got a plan for that too. So here's the deal. Personal plan, everybody needs that. I'm going to tell you the truth. The reason I do that networking, guys, and I'm not going to get into a long-winded discussion, but I want you to understand that many years ago, my husband got hit by a semi at work. He nearly died. They all told me 0% chance that he would survive. It was bad. To this day, he is still the only surviving patient who's ever had that surgery done to him. It was really devastating. But I dropped to my knees and I prayed to God and I said, look, you've already made a decision how this is going to end. You know whether he's going to live or die. It's out of my hands. But I'm going to ask you that if you spare him, give me the strength to be able to cope with whatever decision you make. But if you spare him, I will do something every day of my life to help one person that I'm not connected to financially and I'm not related to. That's why all my networking groups will always be free. I can't charge for them because my prayers were answered and my husband was spared. And I'm ever grateful that he's here. I'm married 53 years and I'm trying to talk him into living until he's 97. That's about another 20 more years. So I think I'm going to try to set a record for how long you can be married. But 31 years later, on the very same day that my husband's accident happened, May 18th, my daughter came down with a brain tumor. Healthy girl, cute little tiny petite blonde, never had any health issues ever. She came down with a brain tumor. Again, the doctors told me it did not look good. Good chance she would die during surgery. If she survived, she'd probably have about 2 months of chemotherapy and radiation and she'd pass, or she'd be a quadriplegic. Not a lot on the plate to pray for, guys, but I prayed again. Same prayer. I told God, I never missed a day for 31 years. And if he'd spare her, I'd do something every day of my life for 2 people. And he spared her. She was a quadriplegic. And that's okay. Because 9 months later, she's out of her wheelchair, no braces on her arms and legs. Life's good. Not perfect, but it's good. And so now I have to help 2 people every day. So people like Colleen, Nicole, a lot of the people I'm looking at, Mari, these people all come into my life. I'm telling you, I don't know where you come from. I really don't know. I think God drops you. You're just little blessings to me. And I treasure you guys. It breaks my heart when somebody goes off and doesn't come back. Because I tell them that story so they know that I will never quit on you. I will always work very, very hard for you guys. So let's go back to LegalShield for a minute. Can you afford it? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's so inexpensive. It's not even funny. Not even a quarter of what it would cost you to go see an attorney. So it's very, very inexpensive. Do you need it? I think you do. The situations that I found myself in personally with my husband and my daughter, I didn't have a will in place. I always thought when I would be old, I would have time for that. My husband was 39. They kept asking me if I had a living will. I didn't even know what that was. Guys, my company Complimentary will give you a will, a living will, and a medical directive. Get those done. That's worth $1,000. Cost you nothing. Oh, cost you $30 for your monthly plan. Get it done. I say take it and try it like the taste test at Costco when you get the little tiny Barbie doll size spoon of mint chocolate chip ice cream and you don't even like mint chocolate chip ice cream. And the next thing you know, you're walking out with a 50-gallon drum of mint chocolate chip ice cream because it tasted good on that little spoon. I say take it for 30 days. It's month by month, guys. Taste test it and work them like a dog for the whole month. Make the first day, don't even call them. Just make a whole list of all the crap you got. Give it all to them. And then go see what happens. So if you're a business owner, a lot of people are coaches on here. Coaches have a big problem. People come along and they go, oh, I love Colleen. I just love her. I can't imagine there's anybody who doesn't, but people will come along and go, I just love Colleen and I want her to be my coach. And then they sign up, and coaching's not cheap, but it's an investment. Far less expensive than going to college. And people take that and don't even think twice about it. And then they're stuck with these huge bills. So you get Colleen as your coach. You sign a contract with her for a year, and 6 months down the line, you go, well, it's not working out so good. And you decide you want to break the contract. That's how a lot of people come to me that are coaches to buy a plan to cover their business. And I'm sad for them because it's not Colleen and it's not the person who went to her. It's a misunderstanding about what they were going to get. They love Colleen, but they didn't pay attention to what Colleen was a coach for. So I said, let's fix the buyer's remorse. Why don't you let's give them time to get to know who you are and what you do. Then when they buy Colleen, they go, uh-oh, I don't want to sign for one. Can I sign for 2 years instead? Because I don't want to lose you. And everybody's happy. But let's suppose that you have a situation where somebody's backing out on a contract. That's serious stuff. You both agreed to it when you signed up for it. So here's what we do, guys. We do debt collection for you. Now, I've gone to lots of my clients and they go, okay, debt collection. I have a problem with that. Yeah, you don't want to be a credit line for your customers. And that's what a lot of people end up doing. There's so much money owed to them that they're finding it difficult to keep their businesses running. So here's what I say to them. How are you collecting the debt now? Well, I wrote them letters. How's that working out? It's not. They're not listening to my letters. Okay, what else did you do? I went to an attorney. Too expensive. I get it. I get it. You make $20 an hour. He makes $300 an hour. That doesn't match. No. Okay. Anything else you tried? Yeah, I went to debt collection company. Oh, that's a good one. How'd that work out? They want 30 to 50% of whatever is owed to me. So when I had customers that are doctors and dentists and construction companies, the guy said to me, I have a $30,000 debt that I need to have collected. I'm not giving them $15,000 to collect it. Well, then what are you doing? Nothing. Well, that's not working either. You get nothing. Why don't you, for $49 for your standalone business outside the house, why don't you just try this for 1 month, send out 10 collection letters, and at the end of the month, you tell me if you want to keep it, because we keep none of the money. So just pretend that his debts are only $2,000 a piece, which is so easy for businesses. And you send 10 letters out. And let's say 5 of them nobody responds to first time. And you collect on the other 5. You've now collected $10,000 that you didn't have 30 days ago, and it cost you $49. Find me that slot machine. I'll put $49 in and collect $10,000 every month. I'm happy with that. So that's what you have to think about, guys. Great return on your investment. And that's just for debt collection. Another big reason they use it is HR issues. A lot of you know what a 1099 person is. But I had some 1099 people who thought they were bringing somebody along to help them in their business as a 1099. And they really weren't a 1099. They were really an employee, even though the person didn't call them that. So let's say, I'm going to use Ken for example. Ken decides she's going to hire Mari. And she says, well, Mari's not really my employee. Mari's a 1099. But she tells Mari what time she has to be in the office every day, what time she has to leave. She provides her a workspace. She tells her what time she can take lunch. Ooh, there's a list on a government website that tells you if you can say yes to any 3 of these things on this list, your person is an employee. They're not a 1099. One of them is if you celebrate their birthday with a birthday party. Did you know that? Yeah. So I had a woman who hired somebody. She thought they were a 1099 and they tripped and fell going into her house and wanted to get workers' comp. She said, they can't get workers' comp. They're not my employee. But she went to workers' comp and guess what? She was an employee and now they were in trouble. So sometimes if you have people who are employees, if you have a standalone business and you decide you're going to change their status and you're going to make them a 1099 because Joe down the street who has a business told you you could do that, you don't want legal advice from Joe. Joe sells shoes. He's a business owner and he sells shoes, but he's not a legal person. So here's the deal. He tells this guy, you have 62 employees, which you're very proud of because you built your business up that big. But then along came the Affordable Care Act that said anything over 50 employees, you have to buy them benefits. And you don't want to buy them benefits. So you go, well, I'll take my employees down to 49. I'll get rid of all the rest of them and make them 1099s. Now they're not employees. Now I can abide by the law. But here's the problem. Jane was a receptionist for 12 years. You now told Jane that she's a 1099. And why? Because you were told that if you stop paying for her benefits and taking her taxes out, that made her a 1099. Wrong. So she continues to work for you. And 6 months down the line, you fire her. She goes to unemployment and she tells them where she works and how long she's been there. And they look it up and find out you stopped paying taxes on her 2 years ago. You're in deep trouble, because they're not just going to audit Jane. They're going to audit all your employees, and they're going to find out you now have 13 people that you've done this for. You are in big trouble. You could lose your business over this. So it's very important that you not do this kind of stuff. Don't take your advice from somebody who lives in his mother's basement or somebody who isn't in the legal field. Don't do that. So misclassification of employees, huge, guys. Hiring and firing issues. Again, you can ask them certain things you can't ask them. Got to know what those things are. Government regulation, another big ugly area. Most of you probably don't know that your village or town that you live in passes about 2,500 new laws every January 1st. Were you brushing up on what those laws were? No. Probably don't know what any of them are. But the problem is they always say that ignorance of the law doesn't count. That's bad. I want a lawyer that has to do all that homework. At Christmas, I want to be playing with presents and grandkids. I don't want to be reading up on what laws are going to go into place January 1st that could kill me. Not interested. Employee benefits. How many people would like, even if you're a solopreneur, you just have a couple of people, how many people would like to offer benefits to their employees, but they can't afford it? LegalShield, great. They pay for their own benefits and they're happy to do it. And why? Because he who pays for the benefit owns the benefit. But if you take the benefit out as a payroll deduction, guess what happens? They can't use it against you. How powerful is that? Then when you fire them, they don't have an attorney to come after you. So that's really important, guys. So again, unlimited access to the law firm, 5 minutes, 5 hours a day, no bill. Unlimited phone calls and emails to help you resolve issues. Letters, they'll do those, unlimited. Unlimited contract and document review, a complimentary will, living will, and medical directive. Me. You know, who would guess it? I'm a safe driver. I have a lead foot, but I'm a safe driver. You know why? They don't fix tickets for you. But guess what they do? They get them thrown out or knocked down to a non-moving violation so it doesn't count against your insurance. And they'll go to court with you or for you. That's great. Don't have to pay for that. If you get sued by anyone, got a book of hours. If you're audited by the IRS, got a book of hours. Want to rob a bank? Don't do it. We'll take care of you if you've robbed a bank. We'll go out there and defend you. You'll pay a discount, a 25% discount, but we'll take care of you. But just don't do it. So guys, it's just really comprehensive. The best way I can tell you is, and I have an identity theft plan that's great. Only 2 companies have licensed investigators that do all the work. I don't want to have the fire truck pull up. My house is on fire and they hand me the hose and tell me to put it out. That's what a lot of these companies are doing. Guess what? They're saying, hey, we got a guide who will guide you through the process. You know what the guide does? He mails you out a big fat stack of papers and tells you got to fix it yourself. I don't want to be on the phone for 6 hours with Social Security or the Driver's License Bureau. I want somebody else to do all that. I want to go to work. You fix it. So we are one of only 2 companies that have that. And the other one is not LifeLock. Got news for you, it's just not. So guys, it's a phenomenal thing. I encourage you to give it a try. Work them like a dog and you make your own decision about whether it works for you or it doesn't work for you. And I would love for you to come out and network with us, and I will work like a dog for you. It will be like you have a salesperson without ever having to pay me. My brain has a human Rolodex in it, I promise you, that knows where to make those connections and who to make them with. And I will make sure that we grow your business really hard. I tell everybody, when you start working with me, mark today on the calendar, mark 1 year from now on the calendar, and you tell me if your life isn't better in a year. And if it isn't, I'm going to feel really bad. But be honest with me. I'm a big girl. I can take it. I'll cry, but not in front of you. So guys, I love what Colleen is doing. I honestly think it's amazing that she took time out of her busy schedule to spend 3 days to put you guys here. Again, go back and tell all those dummies who didn't show up, you have no idea what you missed, and I'm not telling you what you missed. I'll connect you to some of these people, but you have to listen to it from them. So if they're not willing to make the sacrifice, remember the last little piece of information I want to leave you with. Successful people will always do the things that unsuccessful people won't do. If you're not willing to make the sacrifice to spend 3 days at this summit, you shouldn't be able to benefit by it then. So I applaud all of you that are here today. I can't wait to hear what other surprises she's got. I'm really sad that tomorrow I have my radio show and I'm going to miss part of this, but I'm going to watch it on replay. I may be in the bathroom taking a shower, but I'll be listening to it. And I'm going to make sure, guys, that if I take notes, I'm going to make sure that the notes are no good if they're sitting on a shelf collecting dust. Implement what you learned here today. Otherwise, you wasted your time. I saw Lachelle say stuff that there's no way that I could possibly know how to do any of that stuff. But if I wrote it all down and said, wow, that sounds great while I'm here today, and then I never call Lachelle, shame on me. Donna's just a whole other story, because Donna's got to switch her schedule up, because I believe in what she does so much, and I know it works, that you dummies who don't try it, I don't know what's the matter with you. Why would you not try it? I'm telling you, if you just tried her system and you only got one new client this year, what would that be worth? It is a proven method to get clients, guys. Everybody thinks with their belly. They just do. And pick the fat clients first. Pick all the fat prospects you've got. Send them 4 brownies. Guaranteed you're in. Because they'll not be able to just to walk away from them. So guys, think about the nuggets that Colleen has put in front of you and utilize them, guys. That's all I got. I'm empty. I didn't have anything to share with you guys today.
Oh, you had plenty. It's about connection. It's about referrals, right? And then that's why we're here as power partners. Lynn, your information's in the chat. You guys got to connect with Lunch with Lynn. Get her as a power partner. So you're going to want to get that simplified CEO studio membership, because you need legal help when you run a business or in your personal life. But does anybody have any questions for Lynn? Anything that you guys want to ask, if you want to ask it about LegalShield, if you want to ask it about connection, because that's been big. That's what we're here for. Lynn brings connection. Mike brings connection. Colleen brings connection. It's important to have power partners, because your network is your net worth, right? And that's the only way, is when you touch people's hearts and minds as you did today, Lynn. Thank you so much.
Hi, cute Laura Galarski.
There's Carlene's got a question for you. Look at that.
Gotcha.
I have a question. I shouldn't have a question, but I do. I'm wondering if you can touch on, there's different things. There's LegalShield, there's IDShield, there's something else, right? And do we need each of them, and why do we need each of them? Because I really thought that I could just get LegalShield and that was all of it, but no, it's not.
LegalShield is all the lawyers. Think about that. IDShield is, guess what? When somebody's used your identity, I had a guy who went to get a driver's license in California and found out that there was a warrant for his arrest in North Carolina for tickets that he had never been to North Carolina, never been to that place. But you know what happened? Somebody found his driver's license information, used that, pretended to be him, went to court, pled guilty, got fined, never paid the fines. The guy walked away, and a warrant was issued for this guy's arrest. So when that happens, the lawyers can do so much, but you need the licensed investigators to go clear all that mess up. So the licensed investigators do that. If there's legal issues after that, they turn it right over to the lawyers so that they can fix it too. And we have a whole slew of free benefits we give you. If you're a member, you can get discounts on Best Buy, Office Depot, Home Depot, just pretty much everything you can think of. Go look at that list. That'll save you money. You'll get back more than what you spend on your membership for the month. It'll be really valuable and worth it for you.
I have another question. Don't let me forget to ask it, but I want to tell you that when I was pregnant with my first child, and it was a high risk pregnancy, I'd already lost 3 pregnancies. And so I had to go, obviously there was going to be a huge dollar amount attached to it, had to go into the Medicaid office, and I went in to get Medicaid, and they denied me because I already had Medicaid. And I'm like, never even heard of Medicaid until now. And so they did their research, and there was a fella using my social security number, had Medicaid, and he was like, well into his 80s. And then they were stuck in a position. They're like, well, what do we do? Because we don't want to take it from him. Clearly he needs it, but you need it also, but we can't skip a beat on him, or that's going to be a mess. I ended up having to pay for a little while until they could iron it out.
Want me to tell you something scary? Aflac is another benefit that I offer. Most of you don't even know I do, but I do. And I now hire somebody to do that benefit for me. But here's the scary part. I would go out to an enrollment, large company, 500 employees, and I'd be in the back room signing these people up for benefits. And in would come this guy and he'd sit down and I'd be taking his information and I'd ask for his social security number and he would freeze. And he would say, just a minute. And he would go out of the room and he'd come back and then he'd bring the number on a piece of paper and give it to me. And I put it in and I finished his plan. And 3 people later, another guy came in and gave me the very same social security number. So there might be 6 guys all using the same social security number. So when I got done with the enrollment, I walked out and I called my boss and I said, hey, you know what? I have a whole slew of people who gave me the same social security number. He said, it's not your job to police that. You put in whatever they tell you and you go on. So it's not like they don't know this is happening. They do know it's happening, but that's very scary because I'll guarantee you that social security number probably didn't belong to any of the 6 of them that were using it.
That's why you
Yep.
need the ID shield, right?
Absolutely right. I mean, it is scary.
Exactly. And then one more question on that, Lynn. So I talked to you before about my LegalShield, and you said that there are benefits built in because so somebody, it wasn't you, some mean person. I got on a one-on-one call, networking, meet this person thing, and this person was just pounding into me to buy LegalShield. And I kept saying, I already have it, I already have it. And he kept saying, no, you need to upgrade. How long have you had it? There's upgrades. You didn't get these upgrades. You need these upgrades. Really the pushiest person. Like I all but hung up on him. But you said it's a good thing I didn't do that because then I lose the benefits that I've built up. Talk to me a minute about that.
And you know what? I want to apologize that because we have a lot of people that have been trained to be that way. And I've never been that way and I won't be that way, but we do have a lot of people that do that. So let's talk about that for a minute. I sell Colleen a LegalShield plan and she's got 60 hours of trial time in case anybody sues her. The neighbor's tree branch, she cuts it off because it's hanging over her swimming pool and she doesn't like it hanging there. And now they want to sue her and they want her to pay for a whole new tree. Ridiculous. But these kinds of weirdo things happen. So she's got 60 hours already prepaid for in her bucket. The second year that she renews, that 60 hours increases by an additional 60 hours and she now has 120. Third year, she has 180, 240, the fourth year, 300, the fifth year. Then it maxes out. So every year after that, it's 300. So here's the point. If at any point, let's say you've had the plan for 7 years and you've got 300 hours built up, if some dingaling comes along and tries to give you a song and dance that you don't have what you need, which is not true, but if he were to tell you that and you would listen to him and drop your plan and then buy a plan underneath of him, you lose all those benefits and you start back at 60 hours. And that's sad. That's very, very sad. And that's a very unethical person to do that. They should be thanking you for making a wise decision to protect yourself and then moving on. There's plenty of people out in this world, but some people just don't, all they're thinking about is their pocketbook. I don't do that. I want to sleep at night.
Donna's got a question.
And I still have to, not only do I have to get to heaven, I have to get my husband in there too. God knows what he might have done. So I have to do a lot of good stuff.
You got to double up. Here's
Right,
Donna's got a question
absolutely.
for you.
Yay, Donna, one of my favorite people.
Hey, Lynn, great job today. And I had no idea about those hours in the bucket, so that's good information. My question is, would you say a little bit more about the process of your radio show and the luncheon that you do? And I'm working on my schedule to join you. So tell me a little bit about how that 2 hours runs.
Okay, we normally get everybody in there, guys. We normally start 15 minutes later. It says it starts at 1. It actually doesn't hit the air until 1:15 because some of you are old enough to know this. Ken Dichi will never understand this. But when I was little, there was a show called Romper Room. And when Romper Room would come on, they'd go, oh, how I see we have Donna. I see we have Baz. I see we have Laura. So I tend to greet every single person that comes into my meeting. And nobody on the radio wants to listen to that for 15 minutes. So we start 15 minutes later. But everybody, usually I have some speakers. The speakers speak for 5 minutes. I'm always looking for good speakers. So if you're interested in that, let me know. And everybody gets an opportunity to introduce themselves and their business. We have those 4 speakers. I sprinkle them throughout the meeting so it doesn't get boring and nobody goes to sleep. We always have a question of the day. I'll just give you a heads up. The question of the day this week's going to be, what do you do to relieve stress? Sometimes last week it was, what's the funniest video you've ever seen? So, I mean, there's always a question, and it's just a conversation starter to keep it lighthearted, because we can be business people and have fun. After we do that, everybody goes into some private breakout rooms with 3 or 4 people in them. You already know a little bit about each other, so you don't have to worry about that. Go in there and tell everybody what you need. You're not to walk in there and be like Miss Polito and say, oh yeah, I got a great looking card. No, no. Say, you know what? I'm looking to be introduced to grandmas who have kids, or business people who need a way to follow back up with their, tell them what you need. And that's their job, is to take notes on that and help you with that. And then when you come out, sometimes we have enough time left over, we do a little mastermind for any kind of an issue that anybody has. But it's broadcast internationally. It's repeated 2 times every week. They are archived in the on the K-Fred radio station. It's just, I promise you, if you try it once, you will not think that you wasted your time. You'll get lots of great connections. And then I always make sure that every single person gets a copy of the chat with every person's contact information. There's no point in going if you have to try to keep track of all that yourself. I don't want you to do that. Thanks, Donna.
Thanks, Lynn.
Fix that schedule.
Lachelle has a question for you.
Hey, oh, Lachelle's like all together. She's like the person I'm not. She's really structured, knows her stuff. She's the person I always need.
Thank you so much, Lynn. I loved your presentation, and I've been to lunch with Lynn one time, and I need to get back, but I have a standing coaching call at the same time.
Correct.
So I know I'm gonna have to move stuff around because I need to get back there.
Do it. Bring the coaching people with you. Say, hey,
Yeah,
listen,
say,
we're
"Come
going on a field trip today, guys.
Oh. So my question is, so years ago, I worked at S&P Global, Fortune 500 company. They had MetLife Legal.
Mhm.
When I left, it was one of the benefits that I kept, because my primary use of it is I have 2 teenage children. Well, one's in his 20s and one's 17. And we get several speeding tickets a year, like 4, 6, 8, 10, whatever. So they always get them waived, right? It's a wonderful service. I just pick up the phone. What county were they in? Okay, let me call that attorney. I got him on speed dial. Let me call that one. And they get no points on their license. I pay the fine. We all go about our day. So I love it. And I originally had my will and all of that done when I got it years ago. My question is, so I kept it after I left S&P Global. So how do I tell if this plan, they called it MetLife Legal, is it the same thing as what you have, or is it different?
Sometimes it depends on which MetLife plan they have. Some MetLife plans will have a deductible that you need to meet, or you'll have a copay with some of the services that you get. We have no deductibles, no copays, none of that stuff going on. And sometimes you are relegated to a specific attorney. You here have a full law firm plus 416 additional law firms in each state, so that no matter where you are in the state, you've got it. And so that's what you just need to find out. You know, what are the parameters of the plan that you have? If it's a good, solid plan, I tell you, don't get rid of it. I'm not in the business to try to badmouth somebody if they're giving you value. If it's got copays and deductibles, you have to weigh that. Am I happy with paying the copays and deductibles, or would I rather not? What is the cost of the plan you've got? If you've got it as an employee benefit, it's the least expensive way you can ever get it. So you just need to weigh those things to figure out what works for you. And again, I don't think that MetLife will offer you the ability to cover your home-based business, but that's something that I can do.
That's what I was going to talk with you about too.
And
because
for you, when you're talking to small business owners who run their businesses out of their home, here's what's important. If they're paying $30, let's say, or $37, that's the plan I really think they all ought to take. If they're paying $37 for a personal plan and $30 for a home-based business plan, let's just call it $60 for a minute. If through somebody else, you might have to just pay the $60. Here, you throw that home-based business plan on, and the whole thing becomes tax deductible as a business expense, because the home-based plan is a rider that has to be attached to a plan. So it just makes it very economical for small business people.
Yeah, and I only have the personal. So yeah, I'm going to reach out to you and talk about the small business plan, because I'd like to get that added.
Great. I also offer $25 Amazon gift card for every referral, guys. So that's
awesome.
why
Thank you.
I appreciate referrals.
You're sending out gift cards. Are you sending out brownies too?
No, I see, the brownies are for the prospects that come in. Then when they get there, they have to be healthy and they have to go take the Amazon and go get themselves like something to exercise with.
Well, send the brownies first, and then they can go get healthy. So thank you. Does anybody else have any questions? We're going to take a bit of a
Hey,
break.
Before they go to a break, let me tell you one last real funny little story about somebody who had LegalShield. He had LegalShield and he was driving through Montana. Now, you know, out in Montana, there is nothing but buffaloes. There's no people. But he's out there and it's nighttime and it's pitch dark. I mean, there's no traffic lights or any of that kind of stuff in Wyoming. And he's flying down the road. He's probably doing 80 or 90 miles an hour because, like, who's going to do anything about it? And he looks in his rearview mirror and he sees blue flashing lights and he goes, like, where did that come from? I know there was nobody out here but me. And so he pulled his car over on the side of the road and he waited for the policeman to come up, and the policeman didn't come up. And he looked in the rearview mirror and he still sees the blue flashing lights, and he's waiting and he's waiting and he's waiting. And he says, I know I'm not supposed to exit my car. Finally, he looks again, still doesn't see anything, turns around and looks out the back window, and he doesn't see the blue flashing lights. He cannot figure out what's going on. Then it dawns on him that what he's looking at is the blue flashing lights on his Bluetooth headpiece. And he pulled himself over in the middle of nowhere, and there is no policeman. But he said, I wasn't worried because I knew I had my LegalShield if I needed it.
I've done that when you travel those really, 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 really boring roads and it's in the middle of the night. You're not seeing, try the snowstorm times when it's foggy out and it's just getting ready to snow. You can't see anything. Or the train comes by, everything's got blue lights now. They even have the police lights on a lot of these vehicles where they're doing roadside service. So it's extremely confusing and they're so bright.
Right.
But then you got somebody to save you and protect you. So you're
So
good
do they
to
all
go.
get a nice little break now?
Yes, we're going
Do
to
they
take
get
a
to
break.
go to the bathroom and grab a good snack?
Yeah,
You guys
grab
are
your
so
brownies.
funny. I have
grab
little
your
kids in the back
cheeseburgers.
seat, and they have little lights that go on the end of their fingers. Yeah, and they do this. You guys need grandkids to do this in the back seat. And all of a sudden you have all kinds of lights. You're like, put your hands down.
Thank you so
Sometime.
much, Colleen, for this opportunity to speak to everybody. I appreciate it.
And you know what, Lynn? I'm going to say that I think maybe you lied. I'm just going to call you out on it here in front of everybody.
How's that?
Donna called you out on it in the chat. So I just said, yeah, you're right. She said, wow, that's a heavy promise, Lynn. And I said, I know, right? I'm wondering why she would say, check back with her in a year. Laura, you can vouch for this. That's just a bunch of BS, right? I've known you 6 months. It's been the best 6 months of my business. Best 6 months of my business.
You know what? I think
Why
I
do we
forgot
need
to
a
tell
year?
him.
True.
I think I forgot to tell him my offer.
Yeah.
My offer, guys, I forgot to give them to you. That offer is you can come to my lunch with Lynn and visit once so you know what's going on. If you come back, I'll give you an opportunity to speak. And if you're her VIP person, I'll give you 1 month of speaking engagements. You can spread them out however you want.
I love that.
But you got to
I'm going to
upgrade.
get that. I'm going to get that.
Get the simplified CEO to do that. And that's in the chat as well.
Yeah, I'm going to get, so if you join the Simplified CEO Studio membership for $47, you get all the VIP goodies for free. But I'm going to do that, Lynn.
Good.
I'm doing it. I'm taking it.
And that Laura Galarski, I've used her services. Oh, guys, pay
I am
attention.
so excited to hear from her.
You will love her. Oh my God, she's so easy to work with. And so
wait,
Lynn's
What the
Lynn's
heck?
incredible. I have known Lynn since what, 2017. Yeah, she's the best. She
and
really
Lynn introduced us.
yes,
What
exactly.
circle we have here.
Yep.
I
I
miss
would call
Laura.
her an angel on earth. That's what I call her.
I miss Laura. She lived so close to me when I lived in Illinois.
I
miss her so
know.
bad.